In a city where chaos echoed in every corner, a man appeared silently. There was neither an army behind him nor a weapon in his hand. But with his arrival, the streets suddenly fell silent. The crowds were startled. With one sign, hundreds of steps turned in the same direction. Everyone did as he said. The noise ceased. Some trembled and others were speechless. But one of them, perhaps the bravest, could not put up with it anymore. He stood before him and said, "Who are you? What power do you have to silence so many people? By what power do you speak like this?" The man stopped. Without saying anything, he only pointed to his collar. A silent but mighty seal was shining on his collar, and he spoke calmly. "I am not speaking on my own behalf. I am acting on behalf of the Sultan, on behalf of the state." Yes, his steps were not his own. His words were the echo of a sultanate, not an individual. And a man who walks with his name fears nothing and does not hesitate because he knows this: I am not alone. I am in the shadow of a name. He who walks with that name stands firm even against storms, because behind him mountains march and armies whisper. Thus everyone understood. It was the name, not the man, that spoke. It was the seal, not the voice, that ruled. Therefore, he could accomplish tasks far beyond his own power. That is how the universe is. In fact, everything speaks for those who know how to listen. A seed moves in the name of Allah, saying, Bismillah, in the name of Allah. For those who understand, it is small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. Hidden within is a plane tree, whose trunk will rise to the heavens, tiny in itself, yet carrying a mountain-like burden on its back, saying, Bismillah. The trees say, Bismillah. They offer the most beautiful fruits from the treasures of mercy with their branches, which are like their hands. They say, in the name of Allah, in the name of Rahman, the most merciful, while producing thousands of different kinds of fruits with different tastes, colors, smells and shapes from the pitch-black soil and dry branches. The gardens talk, but those who hear them are only those whose heart's ears are open. And they whisper, Bismillah, in unison. With the green of the pepper, the purple of the eggplant, the red of the tomato, it was as if the earth had become a pot of mercy. 1,001 flavors boiling in the same cauldron are cooked not by separate hands, but by a single hand of power. Each garden whispers to hearts that understand, I do not cook. I did not knead the soil, nor did I create the seed. I am only a table opened by saying, Bismillah. And every blessing that is sent down upon me is from the kitchen of mercy. Cow, camel, goat, sheep, all are silent servants of mercy. They know no calculations or formulas. They eat only ordinary, plain, green grass. But from within them flows a pure white grace, clean, soft, and full of life. Because they have submitted to an unseen command, all have been transformed into fountains of milk from the grace of mercy. For those who hear the cry in their silence, they say this, do not attribute it to me. I only said, Bismillah. He is the giver. I am a door opening to his mercy. Yes, everything says Bismillah. These sounds are so many that you can hear this sound even from the depths of the earth. A root, soft like silk, very delicate. But as it moves through the earth's heart, stones split before it. The earth gives way, hardness gives up, and difficulty kneels, because that root says, Bismillah. It walks in the name of Rahman in the darkness of the soil, and just like that, it pierces the stones, like the staff of the prophet Moses, Musa. Stones crack before it. The earth gives way, while the branches above the ground open to the sky. The roots below the ground move with the same ease. None of them is forced, because they all walk in the name of Allah. And look, the leaves that whisper to the fire also say Bismillah. Thin leaves, delicate as cigarette paper, so delicate they can tear at a single touch. But for months, under the sun's fiercest gaze, they remain wet. They neither fade nor dry. The sun's scorching heat, despite melting even the asphalt on the roads, cannot burn those thin leaves. Because they, too, know that the power lies not in strength, but in whose name it stands. And so, those delicate leaves, as if leaning into the fire's ear, whisper, "O fire, do not burn me as you did not burn Ibrahim, because I am here in the name of Allah, in the name of Rahman." And the fire falls silent, and the heat falls prostrate. Because nothing that stands in the name of the Most Merciful can burn, collapse, or be defeated. Since everything spiritually says Bismillah, as you progress on this journey of life, you say Bismillah too, when obstacles like hard stones appear before you. Remember, just as rocks crumble before those delicate roots, so will the obstacles before you dissolve, scatter and melt away one by one in His name. When the fire of misfortunes begins to surround you, when afflictions touch your skin like a burning wind, you say Bismillah too. Do not forget. Those thin leaves were not roasting on the hot forehead of the Sunday, they were standing in the name of Rahman. You do the same. When burning afflictions surround you, say Bismillah. Just like the leaves, you will be preserved in the name of the Most Merciful. For if even a leaf walking in His name attains coolness against the fire, will a heart walking in His name ever be burnt? And do not despair. What seems impossible is impossible for you, not for your Lord. He has infinite power. Do not forget that there is a Lord who brings forth vegetables from the soil, fruits from dry branches, trees from seeds, and milk from blood and gall. You say, "It is not possible." He says, "Be," and it happens. You think you have come to the end of the road, but He opens a path for the roots beneath the earth, cleaving the rocks. So, when the world darkens for you, when afflictions constrict, when despair settles in your heart, look not to yourself, but to your Lord. Say, Bismillah, because He who walks by this name is never in a dead-end street. Since everything, water coming down from the mountain, fruit falling from the branch, milk flowing from the breast, says Bismillah with an invisible language, and the blessings come in the name of Allah, not from the soil, not from the branch, not from the animal, and are laid on your table. Then do not be silent, be included in that name. Give in His name every time you give.
Bismillah.
Take in His name every time you take.
Bismillah.
Because the one who forgets loses, and the one who remembers finds both the blessing and the giver of the blessing. If someone offers Allah's property in his own name, if he has appropriated the blessing, if he gives you that favor in His name and expects gratitude, know that His hand is only a veil. Do not deify that veil. Do not be grateful to that veil. Do not take that curtain as a source. And remember, the hand that does not mention that name does not give you a blessing. It gives you heedlessness. If you take it, you remain silent. If you remain silent, you will be lost. Therefore, do not take from the hand that does not say Bismillah, so that you will not be among the heedless.